Hello and welcome to Sports Update on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashime. On Update this evening, we have every stories all around the world of sports, from football, athletics, name it. We will surely give it to you on Sports Update this evening, and I will not be doing it alone. I have my regular Isaac Omidiji, all the way from Niger State, joining me on Sports Update. Isaac, welcome on board to Sports Update this evening.
It's a pleasure to join you again, Manuel.
All right, let's go straight to the first story, where ex-Super Eagles defender Ifeanyi Udeze has said NFF is afraid of sacking Jose PESEIRO. We know Jose PESEIRO's contract was under checks and balance. Let me use that word. And NFF president a few days back said, okay, the fans will decide the fate of Jose PESEIRO, and where he said the fans should, fans will vote if Jose PESEIRO is to stay or to go, so that maybe to take us to AFCON 2023, which will be happening next year in Cote d'Ivoire. And from filiers, a lot of fans actually voted. We are hearing that that contract will be extended till after the Nations Cup in Cote d'Ivoire. But Ifeanyi Udeze has said NFF is afraid of sacking Jose PESEIRO. I don't know if you support what Ifeanyi Udeze is actually saying.
Emmanuel, I will not want to use the word afraid, but I will say probably NFF is confused. And probably there is something they are not telling the public. If not, from his performances so far, is it worth keeping? That is a question. Why will even the NFF be thinking of allowing the fans to vote and determine the fate or the fate of the national team coach? Why? Why is the NFF there? Why do we have the technical committee? So is the NFF either trying to abdicate his duties and hand it over to the fans and say, okay, no, it is the fans that ask us to sack him. We don't want to sack him. You know, it's funny. I find that statement very irresponsible, and I find that action very, very unfortunate. And if they are about to go truly by the wishes of the fans, what's the person would not be there? Truly. Truly, if they are going to go by that, he would not be there.
At all. Now, I don't know why NFF is being skeptical about Jose PESEIRO. And before now, so many things have been said about that contract, and the condition of the contract was not actually revealed. We know the contract they gave to Genetra was revealed, and everybody know what was involved in the contract. And for Jose PESEIRO, his contract, much about the condition of his contract is not known till now. Now, for the NFL dilly-dangling about this whole issue, Isaac, let's take it from this angle. Now, has Jose PESEIRO done enough to even still to remain as the Super Eagles coach? And is it going to be better than what we are seeing with the Super Eagles right now?
Has he done enough? No. Is he going to be better? He hasn't shown he was going to be better. Because if you will prove to be a better player or a better coach, then from the games you've played or from the games you've managed, we'll be seeing signs. You know, it said that Saturday will be good Friday.
Yes, of course.
This hasn't even shown that the Saturday will be good, because PESEIRO hasn't shown that he has even understand this team is managing, the number of games he has managed them. He hasn't shown any technical acumen. He hasn't shown any technical, finesse to show that yes, he has what it takes. We have continued to experiment. We have continued to play uninspiring football. We have continued to give excuses for the poor display we have shown, even in victories. And I said that yes, victory is what matters. But you need to play well to get victory. That is very important. And also, PESEIRO has not shown that. See, I would not blame the current NFF. I will blame the past NFF. And that is because, how will you be bringing us a journeyman? What was the record of Jose PESEIRO before coming to be the manager of the Super Eagles? Now, for the current NFF, they are in a fixed, because He's even being owed salaries. So how will you sack someone with your own salary?
Seriously, somebody was saying some times ago, somebody was saying it is let me say in our own Nigerian language na genetro ahead na in catch Super Eagles. But sincerely speaking, now if we look at it, Genetro was being owed a lot of salaries and he was sacked before he dragged NFF to FIFA. A lot of issues before that money. I don't even know if they actually paid all of his arrears, the money that was being owned. And for Jose PESEIRO coming in, he was sacked in his last job again with a Venezuela national team. He was sacked. He has not actually shown that he's the man for Super Eagles. He struggled with speaking English language. Whenever he's granting interview, he picks his words. You will not, he mumble words, you will not even hear him. Now, Ibrahim Gusso is at the helm of affairs right now. Is it that he doesn't have the power to pull the plugs over Jose PESEIRO?
That's why I'm saying that there are things the NFF are not telling Nigerians. And there are things Ibrahim Gusso himself knew about the appointment of PESEIRO because he was part of the former board.
Yeah.
He only became the president now. He was not the president then, but he knew so many things that happened. How was PESEIRO signed? You know, I used to say that for us to have foreign managers that will allow themselves to be owed months of salary shows that there is something wrong somewhere. Onions will not accept that. We don't accept that. And it's so unfortunate that the former NFF president, Amaju Pinnick, told us that he even consulted a certain Jose Mourinho. Is it the best Jose Mourinho can suggest to Nigeria? Jose Mourinho just got a job for his friend or for his boy. Yeah, not necessarily that Nigeria got the best. And you get advice from Jose Mourinho doesn't show that the advice will be good. Because all I know is PESEIRO has not served Nigeria well since his appointment as a gaffer of the Super Eagles.
Yeah, Jose PESEIRO has not actually served us well since his appointment, and I'm going with that. But I think the NFF should look inward and know what to do about Jose PESEIRO. Let's leave Jose PESEIRO and NFF with two fine days right now. We're still staying home. But this time around, we'll talk about the Nigerian Premier League, where Katsina United, a team that has qualified for the NNL Super 8 that will be coming up next month in Asaba. The coach, Usman Abla, has said he wants to take Katsina United back to the Premier League. They were relegated last season, but right now they've qualified to play in the Super 8 playoff that will be coming up in Asaba. That is the NNL Super playoff, where we'll have 4 teams being promoted to the NPL, Nigerian Premier League, as it will be called from next season. But Usman Abla, a man who has coached Enyiba, Kwara United, says he wants to bring back Katsina United to play in the Nigerian Premier League. Isaac Omedeje.
It's very possible because just recently I watched Usman Abdullah's Katsina United against Kano Pillars in the Nigeria Super 8 playoffs that was played at the Eket Stadium in Akwa Ibom, and I saw a team of good players, a team of players who can even hold their own even the Premier League the way they are. So I would not be surprised if they make it. For them to have qualified for the NNL Super 8 in Asaba shows that they are on the right track. And for Usman Abdullah, remember, he was a former coach of Eyimba that also won the title in the MPFL. Yeah. So he has the experience, he has all it takes, and I think the team is well motivated. If you remember, there's this player from Lobby Stars, Tuli, who has been rumored to be moving to Rivers United even for huge sum of money, millions of naira. Actually left Katsina United to play for Lobby Stars. And now the latest about Atuli is that he's even willing to come back to Katsina United. Presently, he is moved to Rivers United as Kula. Latest is he will be going to Katsina United because they are very hopeful of getting a return ticket to the NPFL. So that is how high the spirit is in the camp of Katsina United, and I'm not going to be surprised if they get the ticket. Usman Abdullah has proven to be a good coach, a former coach of Eyimba, a former assistant coach of the Super Eagles.
All right, has proven to be a good coach, and let's see what will happen in the Super 8 if they can actually get that promotion to play in the Nigerian Premier League come next season. And for Usman Abdullah, yeah, it's good to talk, but go do the business on the pitch. that is what it is. Let's move away from that story and head straight to the African continent, where CAF president Motsipe has said the name Super League is going to change, and the new kickoff date will also, as in the new kickoff date, will also be released. But it was proposed that the Super League will come up August, that is 2 months away from now. But this time around, it has been moved, I think, till October. But the name is going to change from CAF Super League until the modalities are going on to see how they can change that name. And then the date has been moved to October. Is this a welcome development from the CAF president, Isaac?
Yes, welcome on welcome development. Welcome in this aspect that the winners will still go on with the 6.6 billion euros that has been set from the initial stage. And the name change will be coming because of branding. Remember, there were complaints that using Super League might affect the tournament because of the Super League that was not successful in Europe. Remember the Super League that was moved by the likes of Manchester United, Juventus, Liverpool, Barcelona, Real Madrid, that was not successful. So retaining such name for the continent of Africa is said to be not something encouraging. So for branding purposes, the name will change, and the name will be going with probably the eventual sponsor of that particular tournament. So if Emmanuel is sponsoring, to be Emmanuel CAF, probably Super League, or Emmanuel CAF League, whatever way it's going to go. Now, this is the way I'm not welcoming it.
Okay, I think we should.
Initially, it was said that 24 teams should be participating.
Okay, we should do it something of a dual sponsorship now, Isaac and Emmanuel CAF Super League. I think that will be that will be better. But for Patrice, for Patrice, he has said the name will change, like you said, it's because of branding. A lot of logistics that is involved for us to have the CAF Super League. And now, if the name changes, whoever that is going to sponsor it will definitely carry that name will be used as the name of the tournament. Let's move away from that story and head straight to England, where Borussia Mönchengladbach of Germany is actually keen on getting the services for Paul Onuachu. I would say praise the Lord if this deal actually go through for Paul Onuachu, Isaac.
Seriously, it will be a huge relief for the Yankee striker, because I think this game will even be more suited with the German league than the Premier League. Remember, the Premier League is fast, and he's not a fast striker. In Belgium, where he made me, he was not scoring most of his goals because he was fast, but because he's a point man that knows where the net is. And that is not the kind of pattern that was played for him at Southampton when he joined in January, and that affected his performance for Southampton, and Southampton were relegated. So if Borussia Mönchengladbach is coming for him, it would be a good one for him, because I think the game in Germany is not as pacey as that of the English Premier League. So he'll be able to again prove his mental and show that the number of goals he has packed in Belgium are not flip. So it's a great one. I hope he will make the move, because staying at Southampton playing the Championship is still going to be a fast-paced game, especially considering that they have been fighting for a return, immediate return to the EPL. So it's a good one. It will be a great relief if the team comes to fruition. In fact, I'm of a support that he should go back to where it comes from, in Belgium.
Yes, he should go back to Belgium, or probably take this move and just this is an escape route for him. But Isaac, something I'm actually worried about is Nigerian players. Is it that they don't know the right move to make? Who is to be blamed? Their agents or the players themselves? You see a player doing well. Okay, in the case of Paul Onuachu and Joe Aribo, both of them are playing in Southampton. These are two guys who were fantastic for their various clubs in Europe before joining Southampton. Paul Onuachu was playing in Genk in Belgium, and Joe Aribo for Rangers, where he was the talisman of that team. And both of them find their way in Southampton, and that was the end of the story. Now, is it that our players don't know the move to make? So who is to be blamed? The players or their agents?
I think both, because if you look at it, how will a player not know the right move to make, looking at the clubs coming for him? And for agents at times, because of their interests, they will force a player or convince a player, let me use that English, convince the player to see the right. They need to move. I was not even expecting Paul to move in January. I'm very sure if Paul had stayed in Belgium and waited till the end of the season and Southampton got relegated, he would not come to Southampton.
At all.
On that club. So at times he is the player and combination of the player and the agent.
Okay, the combination of the player and the agent. We just hope that the agents of all Nigerian players, they should know the right move. They should know the club that they will be sending our players to, because you don't just allow a player to make a move because you want money or because you want any other benefit, and this players goes to a team and now they will not be used week in, week out in the new team they are finding themselves, and that has been a subject of worry. You can't see a Senegalese player or the Egyptian players actually going to a team without not stamping their authority. But thank God, I think that is fast coming to an end. For if Victor Osimhen can be slapped with a more than 100 million euros as a price tag, there I think Nigerian players are doing well. For Kelechi Iheanacho, Bekistas is also on the radar. A lot of Nigerian players are making big move right now, and that is what we want to see with our players. Let's us dominate, and I love what happened last season. Nigerian players dominated all their clubs they played in Europe, the likes of Gift Urban, even Paul Onuachu before he moved in January, Joe Aribo, Taiwo Awoniyi towards the ending of the season became the beautiful bride of Nottingham Forest. A lot of Nigerian players doing well for themselves. Let's leave Paul Onuachu and head straight to Spain, where this man cannot just stop amazing people. I love him so much. He's one footballer that, in fact, I'm lucky to see him play in my generation, and the likes of Maradona and the rest of them were actually small when these guys play ball. For Luka Modric, I watched him from beginning till now. He has never changed, and the 37-year-old Luka Modric has extended his Real Madrid stay until 2024. Isaac, this man, fantastic player.
Ageless Luka Modric. He doesn't look like a 37-year-old. He doesn't play like a 37-year-old, except that in space it's not as strong as it used to be. But he remains very intelligent. He remains a great distributor of passes. He remains a great vision for a team. Because when you have Luka Modric in your midfield, the vision he brings into the game, his passes are very accurate, his shots are good. He controls the midfield, and you wonder, is this a 20-year-old? No, he's 37 and he's still kicking. And everybody knows what they are doing, and he also wants to remain playing at the highest level. Surprisingly, those who are even younger than him have gone, on greener pasture in quotes to Saudi Arabia. But he still wants to play at the highest level. And remember that the like of Luka Modric will be like the like of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who will play into their 40s because he has a structure. And I think he's training well and probably also hitting well for him to remain the way he has been. Apart from the fact that he could not run as much as he was when he was much younger, everything still remains with Luka Modric. He still decides what's happening in that midfield, anything, either for Croatia or for Real Madrid. So, congratulations for Real Madrid for having another maestro for another season.
Another master for another season. These guys can't just they cannot just stop amazing me. The likes of Luka Modric, Cristiano Ronaldo, and even Zlatan, who just retired. These guys, Ronaldo is 38, Modric 37, and if you look at Ronaldo, he's still running like somebody who is just 25. I wonder what they are doing to actually get this kind of strength and energy. Meaning that I'm even here, I can't even run the way Ronaldo is running. If I run from Isaac, to tell you the truth, well, I don't know what these guys are just doing, but good one for him and for Real Madrid. One more season to stay at the Bernabeu, and that is a fantastic one for Real Madrid to actually give him this contract extension. Let's see what happens next season if they can win the Champions League. I want Real Madrid to win the Champions League come next season, and if they can do that, congratulations to all of them for actually putting faith in Luka Modric. And quickly, before we go on the show, let's take the last transfer story that we have for you, where Tottenham are ready to table an opening offer of £40 million for James Maddison, but the Fossicks are holding out for £60 million for this midfielder Marshall.
Just imagine a midfielder that didn't perform well last season. Yes, despite not performing well, was one of the shining lights for Leicester City, and Leicester are still holding on for £60 million despite going on relegation. That is how crazy the market is. But if you know the potential of Maddison, I think is a player that whenever he's trying to hit the potential, something will happen. Either a deep form or injury, and it goes down. But I believe that if he wants to go to them, it's a project that will be built newly by the new coach. So if I want to be part of a new project, don't forget that Newcastle are also interested in signing him. And I know that Newcastle are so desperate to add him to their squad. If Tottenham are starting with 40, remember his opening bid, £40 million. So they may eventually get to that £60 million or probably £55 million. And I think Newcastle are also waiting on the wings to see how the game goes. Newcastle hasn't bidded officially. And for Tottenham, if they get him, it will be a good one. He is a combative midfielder, a midfielder with eye for goals, and a midfielder that can deliver on his good day.
A midfielder that can deliver on his good day. But let's quickly talk about this before we go. Looking at all English players, this big money for the likes of Declan Rice, now James Maddison, Harry Kane. Sometimes ago, PSG was coming for Rashford. Look at the money. All of these English players, all this money that they are placing on them, do they actually worth that amount?
Majority of them don't. And I have to be sincere with you, because we've seen what their output has been. What has been the output of Jadon Sancho since he moved to Manchester United in that £75 million deal? That is the question you should be asking. So most of them have not lived up to expectations, but the British media is one of, how will I put it, the media that overhype players of British origin. You know, they know how to put the Premier League on top. Definitely is one of the best league in the world. But they know how to make it look as if you have not played in the Premier League and a big money has not come for you, you have not succeeded as a footballer. So for English players, that will continue for a while, because the EPL is one of the greatest league and some of the greatest, richest club in the world are in the PEPL. You have the like of Man City, Chelsea, Manchester United, Liverpool, now Newcastle.
Even Arsenal. Arsenal is also there, and Tottenham, a lot of them. But if you look at it, the way the English players are playing, the only player so far that I would say deserved the amount they bought him was Jude Bellingham, who went to Real Madrid. He's a young man, fantastic player. He has, let me say, he has the trait of a black,
yes,
of a black person in him.
I agree with you, Manuel.
So if you look at all of these players, okay, this James Maddison now, should he go to Newcastle? Where do you think he's going to fit in, Newcastle or Tottenham?
If he doesn't want competition, he should go to Tottenham. But if he wants to improve under a young manager with competition and play in Europe, he should go to Newcastle.
You should go to Newcastle. Isaac, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you very much, Manuel.
Okay, I hope they will also come and sign both of us for any of the team. I'm available, even though I don't play. I can just sit on the bench and begin to clap for those who are playing on the pitch of play. That is the size of the show this evening. I am Emmanuel Fashimi.